All right, welcome back. We are going to continue. We've got a little bit of a village here. Just a few houses. Yes, I know, we lost a person last time. We will continue building our graveyard back here. We have the rock for it, but I think our people are gonna rest for the year. Looking for shore. Well, it's gonna freeze. So, killed that one wolf, so I don't think we're gonna have any problem with wolves in this direction for a little bit. I mean, there could be a wolf den over here. I've had cities right next to wolf dens before. But I don't think we're gonna run into wolves. Let's go ahead and move this over. It's not typical that we exhaust an area of deer this quickly. We see that there's one, but if we kill it, there'll be none. So maybe they'll come back? Who knows? Especially since there were two, that's a little unusual. See, this is how it's like. Incoming travelers wish to immigrate. That's typically what you get. Well, if we've got 6 new people, let's look into building a farm. Well, as soon as winter's over. Yeah, this is pretty bad land there. Pretty good land here. Oh ho ho! We'll wait till winter's over. Nothing to do but wait! Villager born! Nice. Age 1.
Work to be done.
What neighbor is he visiting? The fisherman?
Hmm?
I guess so. Act a little late. Probably chatting or playing chess. Chess goes way back. Chess goes like pre-Middle Ages. I think it's based on an Indian game. Deep coal, more people wish to join, but they want to wait for a marketplace. We cannot build a marketplace because we don't have a saw pit. The saw pit doesn't make much sense because we've got no wood. Let's remove these as targets. People will never harvest these. Even if you select not to harvest berries, like, they will never harvest them. They will never ever harvest them. I don't know why that is. It's been the case for almost a year of patches. People still will not harvest hazelnut, and they won't harvest hawthorn, ever. If you want to get rid of those... Pardon. If you want to get rid of those things, you have to put something over it. Like, if I put this well over it, it'll cause it to vanish. Oh, we've got a point. Like we said earlier, we want we want to start getting over here, grain crops and all that. Sustainable farming. We're going to build a farm next year, so that's probably for the best anyway. How's that going?
Need something?
Not much to do. Just wait. We can increase the speed. I never increase the speed. Like I said, it's a very relaxing game. Just sit back and enjoy the ride. Read a book. I usually put a visual novel on in the background or something. A single deer. I think there's 2 deer. Population is expanding. There's 3.
Work to be done?
Chopping trees. Look at that eclectic amount of food. Like, she's got meat, and then smoked meat, and raw fish, beans, pastries. That must have come from when they first moved in. It's possible she's one of the 6 that immigrated. And that she brought her own pastries with her, because we can't make pastries.
Need something?
Hunter, yeah. Did he have to lose and then acquire new weapons? That's terrible. That's really terrible if that's the case. We will be able to make cobble shop, no, Fletcher. We'll be able to make bows and arrows. And we'll have so many bows and arrows that we'll never be able to use them all. It's ridiculous. One time I stopped making bows and arrows, and then my hunters all ran out because I was a bit surprised at how fast you can go through 750 arrows. But I think I turned it off for like years. So I kind of deserved it. Didn't get any teaching jobs this week, unfortunately. You don't always. There was one that popped up this morning for girls PE, and there's no way in hell I'm doing that. I did a dance class one time, and I walked in the room, and it was 34 girls and 2 boys. And I was so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed the entire time. I just sat there, and the only time I've ever done it, I just sat there playing on my phone the whole time. I was too embarrassed to look up. Oh my gosh. I felt so dumb. Like, who's this guy we don't know staring at us? Well, I'm just gonna sit down, keep my head down, and play on my phone. Never done that again. Never will. I'm gonna try and get some of that mountain scouted. I think that's plenty, at least until we get wood cutting. There. Now we'll never need to harvest again. Okay. We just want a small farm. 4 people? 4 people? Is that good? Yes. And now, of course, when you build a small farm, you need to have it fenced off. It's a fence. It's not a fence gate. Fence gate. Let's have it pointing into the farm. Into the farm. And you need to have a fence gate or a fence, because animals will get in there and they'll just eat everything. I mean, they will literally eat 100% of every single thing you grow until there's nothing left at all. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, graveyard. And I have played games long enough to fill a graveyard. Foraging greens. Lost the spoilage. Lost the spoilage. Berries don't keep long at all. Makes sense. I wish you could build boats in this game. It'd be so cool to send some of your fishermen out to fish in boats. We will, of course. Build a fishing shack here. Build a saw pit. We need to start moving along in our progress. That includes building a saw pit. Like, I don't know where they get the tools for sawing. I would assume you would need some pretty specialized saws to saw wood into planks for building material. Don't ask me. Still like to know where the gold went that we harvested from that abandoned site that we found. It vanished into the ether. I thought it would at least they would put it into the storage. They didn't. Just let it vanish. Oh well. That's probably not expected to happen. A lot of willow over here, jeez. We're gonna can't go more than 75. I think I'm gonna move this. Nope, that to here. Alright. You lost your neighbor! That's okay. We'll have more fishing huts over time, and it's not like they're far from town, so I don't need to feel bad. Extend my... Did we get that straight? Yeah. And it's right next to the clay deposit. We've already got a clay deposit that's going to take forever to drain. A lot of waiting, like I said. We can build that. Should build a tannery over by the water resources over here. I think we have plenty of people that's acceptable. And we've already put so many of them to work. It's fine. We'll get more people. Want them to take those rocks down. Putting a house there will encourage them to break down the rocks faster. Looking for other places. Like, that's so much willow. That is insane. And some roots, too. Medicinal roots are way far off. Like, people will eat them if they get sick directly. But the best way to use them is to make medicine out of it. But that's like a healer hut level 2. And getting a healer hut level 2 is like way far off. Four farmers for here, fishermen for here, 2 foragers, one of them we're moving here, one of them we have here. Decent greens up here, but I don't think there's any real place that we have that's better than where she's already at. Maybe the greens and the hazelnut. Maybe. 59, 60. Look at that, Ma. I can count. Scale of 1 to 10. This is about an 8 on the relaxometer. Put your feet up. Sit back and enjoy just vegging out. And again, we don't want to explore too far out when we ask people to explore, because you can always run into really nasty stuff. We ran into that wolf that one time and we lost somebody. But besides that wolf, there are wolf dens. But most important, there are raider camps now. There didn't used to be raider camps. I remember when they added them in like 6 months ago, 8 months ago. I don't remember when exactly. Could have been a much longer time. I've been playing this game for 2 years. Could have been longer than that, and I remember when they added them in, I was like, oh boy, that changes things.
Hello.
Builder building. They're building a road. Thank you, thank you. Lot of waiting to do. Don't have many logs. Transferring produced items. We have storage full. They have missing resource meat and fish. That's not bad actually. When they're out of work, that means they've processed all of the meat into smoked meat. We don't want people eating raw meat. Yeah, look at that. Shields. Weapons. Bows. Arrows. We're gonna get barrels one day. We're gonna get plate mail. I've gotten all the way up to these higher level things before. But once we start attracting raiders, the game just gets so hard. It's easy now. It gets crazy later. It never stops being kind of relaxing like this. We aren't going to have, like, it's not a game where there's, like, constantly being attacked or constantly rushing to get things done. I guess there is if you increase the speed, but I'm never going to do that. I play this game because it's relaxing. I don't play it because I'm looking for thrills a minute. It's a relaxing city builder with tough times ahead. Let's build a road out here. Yeah, let's build it like this. Something more interesting than just a straight line. Straight lines are boring. I want to see there's some character in it.
Work to be done.
Hmm?
Knowledge generated. Can't get up there. We don't have a tier 2 town yet. Wood lore. Hygiene's nice. They don't have germ theory at this point in time in their lives, but people probably known that using soap and clean water keeps thee healthy for thousands of years, I assume. I don't know. Yeah, I didn't find any work. Except for that one class I'm not gonna take. Last week was exciting. This week was not. 1 week till Christmas too, and sitting around. Ran errands, cleaned my fish tank. Make sure the fish are doing well. You can have crazy amounts of willow. I want to get those greens over there. Yep, that's about right. You might actually get away with doing this, though. And getting the herbs down there. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get the herbs down here, too. Villager has died. Man, I wasn't even paying attention. Well, that's horrible. There's the wolf. Okay, let's grab our villagers. Come
On it. Will do. Done.
Where's that wolf? There he is.
Will do. On it.
The power of fisticuffs.
Of course.
We like nearly eradicated wolves from
Will do.
Europe. This is one of the reasons why. They didn't much threaten people. They mostly threatened livestock. But we sure did kill them all. The game does advise you to build towers in order to protect workers, but that is unfeasible. Like, towers cost 50 gold and then 5 gold per month. We are still earning, oh, there's our gold from earlier. It just popped into existence. Groovy. As you can see, our monthly gold is still 0. And there are things that we need to start. What do you have?
Hmm?
Rabies, you're dead. Chance he survives rabies is practically 0. I've seen people recover from rabies, but the chances are very low. Right now, what's preventing us from getting more wood is lack of workers.
Need something?
Chopping trees, stockpiling iron. Guess that's from the... Oh, that's why. They had acquired the materials from that old abandoned site, or whatever you want to call it. But they hadn't stockpiled it yet. They were just sitting on the floor. That makes sense. That actually does make sense. That puts some iron in. Iron's pretty valuable. But we can't use it yet. We can't make use of iron for a while. We've got money. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is all our gold and rocks. But it'll look nice, and we'll put a little park right there. These houses will start to look really fancy. I'd rather spend the gold than have raiders take it. That's my philosophy. I should put some anime on. What was I watching? I was watching Beast Tamer. It's a little ridiculous. It's about a guy that gets kicked out of his party. And it turns out that he was the linchpin of the whole party, because he was using his beast taming skills to tame dozens of monsters at a time in order to get a good layout of the land, to track enemy forces and stuff like that. And that's not what beast tamers are like at all. Most beast tamers can only tame one creature at a time. So when they kicked him out of the party, they had no idea how powerful he really was. Which would have been an okay show, right? But the first thing he does after he gets kicked out is he tames like a goddess level wolf girl and gains all of her power and becomes like super broken awesome. And that's a little bit lame. I mean, not every story needs to be about some dude that sucks at everything he does and has to fight his way to the top, but I like the silly stories that are just, you know, fluff about some guy that has a lot of power and can do great things with it. Doesn't have to work hard. Those can be pretty fun. One of my favorites was 300 Years Fighting Slimes. But that's a relaxing show. It's not supposed to be exciting. It's supposed to be relaxing. We've got too many jobs to do. Should we increase the number? No, I've run out of 7-Up. Maybe I should just abandon you here and watching the deer walk around while I go get more. Somebody had to program these deer. Walk around, look cute. Oh, look at that! They're already building a little garden. Whoa, 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 whoa. No. Look at that. We have a garden. People can now do the task
What
of
needs doing?
gardening when they've got no other work to do. I
Yes?
This guy, he's probably gonna die. He's gonna plop down dead. These pickles will go to waste. Ajax. If he survives, we'll call him something cool. Got a little garden path. Somebody gonna walk along here. Walk along here. Enjoy the flowers. Not everything has to be practical. Some of it can just be cool. There he goes. Sorry, Ajax. You did not survive. I did not name you something cool. You go to your ancestors. Having bravely fought a wolf to protect your villagers. We will call you hero. Yes. You can look at that explanation. I do not need to. I already know how it works. This year's already over. So let's grow beans. And then this helps bring the weed level down. Leeks. And leeks really take it out. They didn't used to. Flax. We'll do flax. Leeks really take the soil down. You can see it's -6 on fertility. Beans raise it, but only by 1%. And then this will lower it a lot as well. And you can see that the quality of our field is going to lower really fast. But we're going to be able to build cheat code right here. No. Right here. Cheat code. Compost yard. And that's going to add compost to the land, and that'll allow us to raise the quality of the land. 2 people now working in the saw pit. You'll notice that they went to work. And there are 1, 2, 3 more people that are going to be assigned, so we're going to drop down our laborers to practically 0. Oh well. But more people will move in. We just lost a villager. He died. It's unfortunate. We've lost 2 villagers already. Life in the wilderness is harsh. We lost 3 because we lost the villager here, which was the reason why we sent the other villagers off to go fight the wolf. And then we lost the other villager up here to a wolf, so we've lost 3 villagers to wolves. Somebody's body didn't get buried. Probably decayed. 2 more villagers immigrate, so that's good. We're already up to 6 now. This is, I think, mostly. And it's got a little ways to go before it's built up. Deer will, like, from here all the way over here. They will walk all the way over here just to eat your fields. They will do it. Oh, these will probably be more likely to be the ones to come down here and eat your fields. But they will walk a significant distance to eat everything you've got. Leave you with nothing. There was a really fascinating group back around 150 years ago that were champions of natural living. They wanted to live in harmony with nature and eat only vegetables and not eat any meat or animal products at all. This is 150 years ago, 180 years ago or something. I don't remember exactly what. So they grew a field and they just let the rabbits run around and eat whatever they wanted because, you know, we're sharing the land with our rabbit neighbors. And they let the squirrels take food, and they let the rabbits and the birds take food and grain. And at the end of the year, there was not enough for them to eat. And they had to abandon the whole project. And it's like, yeah, this world kind of sucks. You have to kill to survive. And you have to drive the animals away from eating your crops. And does that mean the animals starve? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. You do not get away with living in this world for free. Every single thing in this world kills to survive. Trees will kill their own offspring by denying them sunlight, by spreading their leaves out, creating too much shade, and if one of their own seeds, which happens all the time, falls down on the ground and starts to sprout, it will die because its own parent will kill it by starving it of sunlight. Even trees kill to survive. There is nothing in this world that doesn't kill to survive. And if you say, well, I only eat bread, I only eat vegetables, I only eat fruits or whatever, and I don't eat meat products. Well, good luck, friend, because do you know how many ground squirrels and birds and little, I don't know, rabbits or whatever we murder every year in order to grow our grain? Do you have any idea how many little critters, little grasshoppers, and why is it that a cow has more of a right to live than a grasshopper, and we kill grasshoppers by the tens of thousands, by the tens of millions, in order to keep everybody fed? And if you say, oh, I live completely off a sustainable farm that I grow myself with no pesticides and happy-go-lucky, do you know how many animals we kill for clean water? You do not get away from death in this world. We kill trillions of microscopic life forms to make sure the water is clean. Like, do you think that when you drink water, you're getting botulism in it? No, we murder that crap. We murder the hell out of it. And if you think, oh boy, I don't have to kill anything, I can drink natural rainwater, do you know how many parasites your body kills on the daily? You do not get away from death in this world. We must kill to survive. And I so wish people would stop trying to live in fairyland and grow the hell up. There's my rant for the day. I wish people would stop trying to live in fairyland and grow the hell up. You live by killing. Don't try to pretend you don't. I hear PETA just got in trouble stealing characters from Uma Musume Pretty Derby to try and make a point about Japanese horse racing. And I don't know if horse racing is great because they do shoot horses when they break a leg on the track. But PETA, man, they are just whacked out morons. Don't go after an anime. Seriously. Look at all the anime fans, yeah. All the Bishoujo game players now really don't like you. I don't think that's what you wanted. We have 30 of that. We're going to have to build that. Nope, let's have it. Yeah, let's have it look like that so that people walk there and there's a little... I do not like having to control this. You used to be able to take the storage cart, empty it out, and then send it off to die. But just sending it to a raider camp or a wolf den and have all the wolves or raiders kill it and blow it up so that you don't have to worry about where you're going to put this silly thing. But you can't do that anymore. It doesn't work anymore. And it doesn't make it any sense to have this thing in like a tier 4 village. Like, you've got this tier 4 village with all the stuff in it, and you've got this ox cart sitting in the middle of the village like it belongs there. We just moved that one over, which makes no sense. I told you it didn't make sense. Yeah, vegans really piss me off. Vegetarians I can handle. Vegans I want to punch in the face. Yep, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go get another 7-Up. We got a 12-pack upstairs. I'll be back. You can enjoy watching the snow fall. Yeah, see? That wasn't bad. Knowledge generated already. Ugh. Makes sense, militia. We can upgrade this when 8 houses, market. 60, yeah, we're getting there. Eight people, 4 builders. I like when they added chickens and and goats to the game. Originally, it was just cows. I don't even remember when cows were added. Like I said, I've been playing this game for 2 years, but it's been in early access for the last 2 years that I've been playing it. It only went to full version like a month ago. Relaxing. Don't know how exciting this is. With Aska, at least, there's always something that the player can do, because you can always run around. You're the chief. This one, not a lot. It is still nice, you know. Like I said, I usually put a visual novel on when I'm playing something like this. Look at the gold. There's still 44 gold. Yeah. $50 gold, we don't have that yet. Go to sleep.
What needs doing? Hello there?
My goldfish are basically asleep for the winter. They just sit on the bottom of the tank. They eat sometimes. They sit around most of the time. I have the tank next to the window, which means it's gonna get really cold, especially at night and stuff like that. But you know, goldfish live in. They're originally from China. They live in an area where it freezes each year, and they're accustomed to living under frozen ice in ponds. So having them next to the window is not a problem. Shouldn't be. But yeah, they spend the majority of their time at the bottom of the tank, just relaxing, chilling. Yeah. Just went out to make sure that the light was off. I used to have them in my room, but I don't want to have them awake when I'm awake, because sometimes I'm awake at 2 in the morning. And I don't want to throw off their natural sleep. I take very good care of my goldfish. They are my pets. I want to make sure they're treated okay. They're just the 5-cent goldfish you buy at the store to feed to other fish. But I rescued them from that fate. They became pets. They don't have to be eaten. Had him for a year, almost. It'll be a year and a couple months. I got him when I get back from California, so... a few months, actually. It's not been that long. Come to think of it, I haven't been home a year yet. Not even close. I guess I've had these goldfish for about 6 months. Come to think of it. They get big fast. I had to buy him a new tank. 5-gallon tank I had at the beginning for them. It's too small. Now they're in a 10-gallon. And after a while I'll have to put them in a 20. Or even a 40. But we got a little bit of time before then. Gate is done. There's like these brambles around on the outside. This is where they gather the crops, so they put them there. That's what that little bit there is for. They went through a lot of care to make this game look well made. For a small team, this is a big success. Right now, they don't have chimneys, they just have a hole in the roof. It's great. It's like if you ever played what is that Viking game? Not Aska, the other one. Where you build whatever you want. You put down planks and you put planks on other planks and you build the house however you like. This is what your houses mostly end up looking like. Just boxes with a hole in the ceiling for smoke to get out. It's not great when it snows and rains, but you know, if you have a fire in the center, you know, it'll keep you warm. And even wood slats, if the fire is hot enough, you are still comfortable in your home. It'll be drafty, of course, but they're gonna upgrade. 22 wood planks last year. Put a visual novel on. That's what you should do. Narcissu is a decent one for starters. Sad, really sad. What's that one about the guy that plays the trumpet and he loses his arm in an accident? Brass Restoration. That's another decent one for starters. The first visual novel I ever played was Princess Maker. After that, I played Galaxy Angel. It's still, I think, my favorite. Tokameki Memorial. I own the first 3 Tokameki Memorials. Tokameki Memorial 3 was not great. Princess Maker 2, Princess Maker 3, Princess Maker 4, Princess Maker 5. I've played all of them. I want to say 4 was the best, but 5 was so well animated. And then Gainax just dropped making more Princess Makers. Like, come on, guys, you were printing money with that. But Gainax turned into a... Yeah, raiders have been spotted. Roaming the outskirts of your land. Groovy. Number 4. They wanted to be an anime company. They never wanted to be a game company. And Princess Maker was not what they wanted for themselves. It made so much money, though. Like, Evangelion would never have existed without Princess Maker. There's a lot of veggies there. We should build another. We don't need the food, though. Let's just go to waste. That's going to be important for later. That's how we make clothing. We'll have to have a dedicated farm for clothing later. But for the time being, just a little bit was good because we'll be able to make flagpoles with a little bit, and we'll be able to make these, the festive pole. Oh, I thought it required, guess it doesn't. Right now, I guess the only thing it does is the flagpole. We'll be able to make flagpoles, and we'll stock the rest in storage. I'm gonna build a storage unit. What else can I rant about? I can rant about quite a lot of things. I talk about a lot of things. I'm a geologist. I started out as a writer. I wrote patents. I learned about the patent process. When I look at the way that Nintendo is handling this Pal World patent, they are in so much trouble. They're making changes to their oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. I was a patent writer for 5 years. Gosh. Hold on. I'm gonna actually have to look it up. This is so sad. I was a patent writer for 5 years, and I actually have to look this up. Luxury taxes. Oh yeah, we've got the market built. They're amending their claims. They're making claim amendments. So a patent, when you write a patent, the description of how your invention works is the most important part of the patent. Actually, scratch that. The claims are the most important part of the patent, but the claims are dependent on what you've written down as your explanation for how your invention works. So you can amend your claims an unlimited number of times. You have, here in the United States, you have 20 years that a patent exists. And so you can continually amend your claims for those 20 years. If you want. If you get patents approved, they approve your claims. When you make a claim, so for example, if I invent a toaster, I would claim that my invention is something that takes bread and through heat from wires turns the bread into toast. And so that, if that's my claim, then nobody else can make a toaster with heating elements that turns bread into toast. Now that would be rejected, obviously, because it already exists. But that's what your claims are. Your claims are, what are you claiming other people cannot do? A claim is patent is limiting. That's the point of a patent. You are trying to tell other companies what they cannot do. You are not trying to say what you can do. I can do the following things. That's not the point of a patent. The point of a patent is what can other people not do? And in this case, Nintendo is trying to claim that Pal World cannot exist because they are a creature catching game. Basically, that's what they want. They want the claim to be, we are the captains of the creature capturing game, where you capture creatures and then you use them to fight. That's what they want Pal World not to do. But there's no way they're gonna win that. We have Azure Dreams. We have Dragon Warrior Monsters. That was the time. If you wanted to restrict people's ability to make a creature catching game, that was the time to stop it. It was Azure Dreams. It was Dragon Warrior Monsters that came out like 1997, 98, like a year or two after Pokemon came out. That was the time to stop them. But that would have expired already. You only had 20 years on a patent. That would have expired 6-7 years ago already. That would not stop Pal World. People want to move into our village? Or is that people, yeah, that's people wanting to move in. Fine. So they are wearing their standard clothing, and we accept them, and they turn into our clothing. Isn't that great? We get free clothing. We need a house. A house inside this house? A mouse inside this house? Oh, we got our 5 gold per thing. We got a technology. Let's not use our technology yet. We want stuff back here. Alright, Woodlore, yes. We do want Woodlore. Didn't we grab something that's... No, militia. And some barricades. Let's get the barricades. Because at least it leads to something important that we want later. So the fact that they're amending claims in the middle of a lawsuit means that they're losing. If you amend claims, it has to be related to what you wrote in your description of how your patent works. And that's where patent writers are so important. Because, you know, Joe invents something, and you work for a company, right? And Joe is one of your engineers, and he invents something like a new vacuum cleaner. And I did a vacuum cleaner, so that's why I'm bringing this one up. He invents a new vacuum cleaner, and he hands it to you as the writer, and he explains to you how it works. And your job as a writer is to try and take up as much space as you can around the invention. You want to make it so that nobody gets to do what you're doing. And now you've got a vacuum cleaner. How is this vacuum cleaner different? Well, in our case, the vacuum cleaner was different for how it, when you are vacuuming something, where it takes the material that's being vacuumed, and this was a shop vac, so you're thinking like screws, nuts, bolts, and stuff like that off the floor. Did we get another? We got another. Ruby. We have defensive barricades, stockyards, storehouses, and town center. Have more hit points. So you are trying to say, you know, well, our invention is the shop vac, and what's new about it is this chamber that we've got in it for how it takes in nuts, bolts, and screws. But you don't want to just say our invention is a chamber. Because if you get that passed, right, then people won't be able to put your exact description of a chamber in their invention. That's not what you want. You want to stop them from making other shop vacs like yours. Not for making a chamber like yours, for making a shop vac like yours. You want to corner the market in your superior type of shop vac. For 20 years. That's the invention. And so you have to make sure that what you're describing is a shop vac. What you're describing is how this shop vac works. What you're describing is anything you can think of, the electrical systems, the motor that you're using. Is there anything in here? Did your engineer add something to this invention that he didn't think was unique? Maybe as he was trying to solder this invention together, he created a little flap on the side, and he didn't really think of it, but that flap could be important, right? Maybe we want to add that into our description for the invention. So as you're sitting there and your claims could be rejected, and the patent clerk looks at it and says, this is too much similar to other shop vacs, you then have to describe why yours is different. Well, yeah, but look at this flap here that we got. Look at this chamber that we've got. And you've got to try and fight for it. And it can be pretty fun, and I loved that job. I loved arguing with people about why your invention was better. And you have to really believe in these inventions. You have to really sit there and just struggle through it, and I loved it. I loved it. It was the type of job I could do my whole life. But you would get a rejection, and maybe they would find out that somebody else had not a shop vac, but maybe another kind of vacuum, and it had a chamber in it so similar to yours that there's just no way you're going to get your invention. And you realize that the only thing you have left is the flap that the engineer said, well, it's got this flap here that I put in, and I was just trying to solve a problem as I was soldering it together. But that's unique. And so you didn't put that in your original claims. But because you described it in the body of the invention, you now can say, you know what, we're abandoning these claims. We tried our best, but we're abandoning these claims. Instead, our claim is, look at this new flap that we have, restricting access of these bolts when they go into the chamber from getting into the motor or flying out the side or whatever it is that he did when he added this flap to it. And the guy that's the patent clerk will look at it and say, you know what, that flap that you've got is actually rather unique. I've never seen another one like it. And so you get your invention passed. You didn't get quite what you wanted, but you get a shop vac, right? Your invention is the shop vac, right? It's not a flap, it's a shop vac with a flap. And so now you can say to other people, hey, we've got this new shop vac. You can't make your shop vac like ours. And what makes it unique is this cool flap that prevents bolts from getting into the motor when you suck them up, or from clogging something up or something like that. And maybe that was what the real invention was the whole time. Like, that didn't quite happen. I mean, it almost happened to me with several of the inventions I worked with. So having the ability to alter your claims after you have submitted your invention is a very important part of the process. But it doesn't look good when what you were trying to go for was this cool chamber you worked hard on putting into your shop vac when you're sucking up bolts and nuts. It's kind of disappointing that all you got out of it was this cool little flap. Right? So what Nintendo is trying to do is they are trying to amend their claims during an ongoing lawsuit. That is really bad. That shows that they were unprepared for this lawsuit. That they did not have a good argument to make when they sued Palworld. And they are desperately scrambling to come up with some way to save their lawsuit. It is what's called the sunk cost fallacy. They have gotten into, and I'm doing this because we need more leather so that we can make more of these coats. So the fact that they are making these changes to their claims now just shows that they were not prepared for a lawsuit, that they expected Palworld to fold or settle out of court, and Palworld got so much fan appreciation for their game that they realized that they could take on and win Nintendo. Nintendo probably did not expect that at all. They probably expected Palworld to settle, to amend their game, to make changes to it, and then, you know, Nintendo would still be the giant, and they would be able to push people around, you know, and say, hey, look at us, we won this case, you know, we settled, but still we won, and everybody else take note, do not step on our territory. That is not happening. That is not at all happening. And they are in trouble, and they know it. And so the sunk cost fallacy means they need to just keep pushing for this lawsuit that is crumbling. And they're scrambling to make changes to their claims in the middle of this. That is so bad. They're toast. I would hate to be on their IP team. Their IP is intellectual property. I'd hate to be on their IP team because they know they're in trouble. They know they're in serious trouble. But sunk cost fallacy, they're going to ride this and or die. We're waiting for the 60. Yeah, so I was a patent writer for 5 years. It was valuable. I learned a process of how things work. I thought of going back to being a writer several times. The problem is we have ChatGPT. The company I was working for has almost entirely moved to AI to write their patents now. Like, they don't admit that that's what they're doing, but that's what they're doing. You just have to write it with AI and then have your lawyer check it. Make sure that there's nothing in it that's wrong. And then go from there.
Need something?
He's a hunter already. We built that hunter shack really fast. Land O'Lakes, man. Land O'Lakes. Our little people up and down trees. Got our little red hats.
Aye?
Doing one. They don't have meat enough anyway. They need 20 and 20. Knowledge generated. Reinforced palisades. We will get stone battlements. We might be able to skip wood palisades entirely. That used to not be the case. But we'll work on palisades first, I think. Stone looks great though. I was in year 30-ish, and I didn't have stone palisades, stone walls, and so I had wood palisades. I wonder if that's why I lost. But I had so much stuff that I had so much stuff that I was still trying to get. I was like, oh, I need these, oh, I need these, oh, I need these, I need more of this, I need more of that, and so I never ever got stone palisades. Stone walls. And so, maybe this time we'll do it different. And I'm not going to build on that clay deposit. We are going to want to harvest that till it is gone. He's got some weeds in his front yard. Maybe they're flowers. Look like weeds. I mean, these are flowers, right? These are flowers. So we can walk along here. We are going to have to. Well, let's wait until we upgrade this. Can't worry about stuff that I want until we get stuff we need. Can't build that because we need a wagon shop. We do need that. Basket shop will be nice. Fletcher building will be nice. Cobbler shop will be nice. And we've got the people, we've got the laborers for all those jobs. We need to do that. If you guys want to see that, you can pause the video and check that out. But I know it all. I'm gonna play for another half hour and then call it a day. It's relaxing, isn't it? Just waiting for stuff to happen. 62 a year. That's a lot. It doesn't sound like a lot. Because, man, you can go through it so fast. But 62 a year is pretty good. We'll have 6 people in there eventually. We'll have iron mines and iron smelting and blacksmith shops and walls, marketplace we've already got. We'll have a, what's it called, market? This one, trading post. I'll probably put a shrine. Oh, I can't. Oof. Put it right there. Eventually. We'll have our trading post here, our market here, our shrine here or here. Maybe right there so that people walk by as they're going on the way to the graveyard or the fields. Beans! Green beans. At 40. 20 more. 6 months. So I'll probably get it around the middle of winter. I mean, you can kind of see that it's wet here. Although how this is a lake, I do not understand. Oh well. You have so much food. In the early game, it's so easy to make food. I had a village one time that I was building, and around year 15, 20-ish, all of a sudden everybody starved to death. I was building so much resources and like everybody didn't starve to death, but a significant portion of my people starved to death. Because I was building so many things like, oh, I need a saw pit. Oh, I need a clay pit. I need more potter buildings and weavers and candle shops. I'm building all of this stuff, and I'm not building food. My food crashed. Everybody started to die. Oh my gosh! Just a failed city. Yeah. Birds flying north? Are we in the southern hemisphere? Like, I live near a lake, and so every year the birds fly west for winter. Because they're heading to the lake. Because it's their first natural stop on their way south, you know? And so, for us, whenever the seasons change for winter, the birds fly west for winter. Oh, it's pretty funny. Look up at the sky and all the birds are flying west. So there are some times where birds will fly north for the winter for a brief, you know, they're heading, their first leg of their journey is to go to a nearby lake. So I assume they're going to a lake somewhere. 2 villagers born. We shall name them Dude and Dudette. Oh, there's Dudette. There's Dude. Dude. Dudette. Dude and Dudette. Maybe they'll get married one day. Have little dudette kids. Yeah. First job at graduating with a degree in geology was as a writer. Not what I expected with a geology degree. Look at them, they're flying north, and maybe we're in... Maybe I have this whole game wrong. Maybe we're not on the Pontic-Caspian steppe. Maybe we're in Argentina. 1650 Argentina is possible. You know, maybe we've wrested this land from the Native Americans. And we are Spanish conquistadors. On the doorstep of the frontier in the Americas. Pretty awful if we are, but not surprising. I mean, this isn't, yeah, I mean, that's not north, not according to this. It doesn't tell us what the directions are, though. This is simply up. I feel like that was deliberate, though. Like the people wanted a medieval-looking village in... Well, the only places it could be, Southern Hemisphere, would be South America. I don't think we started colonizing Africa until like the 1800s. That was a bad mistake. Australia was where we sent criminals. But I think that was the middle 18th century. I don't think that was middle 17th century. Someone who's Australian might be able to tell.
What needs doing?
You are shelter stocking. Getting ready for winter. Where did they get the pickaxes? I'm guessing that's what it means when they have tools. It shows a hammer, a pickaxe, and a shovel, so yeah, I guess so. Predators are attacking. Oh, our hunter!
Hello?
Oh, yeah! Get our wolf slayer, or wolf lord. Kadar Wolf Lord. May the wolves all run in terror from Kadar Wolf Lord. That pelt he wears
Work to be
is
done?
a real wolf pelt. Way to go, buddy. He's like, yeah, I just killed a wolf, but I'm gonna go get some more deer. What a badass.
Hello?
53 years old. Looking a little wrinkly there. They will work until they die. Like medieval peasants probably did. I imagine. I have no idea. Did you know, by the way, that we here in the Western civilization, Europe, United States, Canada, Australia, we work more hours per year than medieval serfs did. And we know that because we have written laws of how many hours you could work your peasants. And something about peasants. Peasants were owned by the land. Okay? You were semi-free men, right? You weren't slaves. You could travel if you wanted. You could go visit your cousins. You could, go on pilgrimage. You could, You could join the Children's Crusade. Whatever the case may be, your lord didn't have the ability to prevent you from traveling, but you had to be back for harvest. You had to be back for planting. You were not free to just pack up your stuff and walk out the door, because your lord kind of owned you. When you bought land, if you were like a wealthy merchant and you were buying the deed for some land owned by another lord, you would buy land with a certain number of peasants. Like it would say, buying 5,000 acres of land with 30 peasants. And the village with the peasants in it came with the land. A lot of these villages, like in England, were there were villages that were just, owned by some lord, and they were bought. Like in 1940 or something like that, they would sell the land for the government to come in and build like war department stuff for the Second World War. Some of these deeds were sold and the villages were emptied. They just looked at these guys that had lived in this village for 1,000 years and told them to get out. They did not own the land. One of the reasons why capitalism in fact exists is because these people didn't want, they wanted freedom to own their own land. They didn't want to be told that they couldn't do with their own land what they wanted. A lot of people forget that. I'm visiting a neighbor. We don't need more food. We have 17 months of food. We have more food than the length of a year. 2 more. They want spirituality. We will get them spirituality when this is built. So a lot of people don't realize the freedom that the early capitalists were asking for was freedom from rent. They didn't want to pay rent anymore. They wanted to take the rent that they were throwing away to their lord, to their landlord, and they wanted that money freed up so that they could start businesses, so that they could spend it how they wanted. Here's our upgrade. So that they wouldn't have to be told what to do anymore. That's the freedom they wanted. They didn't want freedom to build a business. You could go out and build a business if you wanted to. Nobody was going to stop you from starting a cobbler shop in your backyard. What they were going to stop you from doing is owning the land. You had no freedom to own your own land. You were a renter. We are going right back to feudalism because we are requiring people pay more and more rent. And these people had more free time than we did. We work more hours per year than medieval serfs. We know this because they had feast days off, they had holidays off, they only worked during the planting and the harvest. They didn't work during the wintertime. They had some chores that they had to do, right? They had to wash their clothing and darn their socks and, stuff like that. But your clothing was pretty much provided for you by the tailor that you paid. You didn't generally make your own clothing. You bought it. And you bought it with the labor that you did. And the labor you did was brief. They only worked 100 days a year, thereabouts. The rest of the days they had off. They didn't work. 100 days a year. That's about all they worked. And the rest of the time they visited their family. They went to the bar. They talked with their neighbors and friends. They played games. They went to feast days and festivals. They did a mummers, what's it called? Where they did the plays and whatnot, mummers play or whatever. They did all of that stuff during the other 265 days a year. We work so many more hours than they did. The laws that we have, the 8-hour workday, the 40-hour work week, that was not us trying to wrest control of our destiny from our masters in business. That was us trying to recover what we had lost, what had been taken from us. The Industrial Revolution was terrible for humanity in general. Like, it was great for the overlords, and it did improve the world, but not for the everyday worker. It didn't. You know, they went from 40-hour work week, 8-hour work days to, oh, we have an electric light now. You are going to work till midnight, and you're going to work 2 weeks solid, get one Sunday off, and then work 2 weeks and get one Sunday off. They only got every other Sunday off. It's terrible. That's why they ended up fighting and desperately trying to improve their circumstances. They were horribly treated. The Industrial Revolution was awful for the everyday worker. And so people now are like, oh, we need to increase the work week. There are people in United States Congress trying to pass an end to the 40-hour work week. They don't like it. They want people to work 60 hours a week because it's more money for their masters. Well, we've been here before. We had better conditions and were better treated as serfs. It's terrible. Yeah. 48 people. We need another house. Build me, close. Happiness is starting to buckle. We need more wood planks. Yeah, I mean, our situation is just so terrible. And if you're like, yeah, but they had to do back-breaking labor in the farm, and I'm glad I don't have to do that. That's true. But we are under so much stress. We are under so much stress that we are unhealthy because of it. Our lives are being chewed up by labor. We define our purpose according to our labor. Well, we're watching an end to all of this as the old system is breaking. You can only extract so much wealth from people before they break. And we're witnessing right now people break. Can't take it anymore. So you can see we're making 7 gold right now, and that's because of our market. And we're gonna start spending any minute now. We're gonna start spending 4 per turn right there. And then we are also going to need, there it is, 2, 1, click, a much better, fancier building. Tier 2 activated, cornucopia, full of shoes. I'm not gonna get that. Rattling dogs, no. Scientific method, research speed at the academy. We don't have an academy. Birth rate being higher is okay. What we really want is this stuff over here. Animal husbandry. Sustainable fishing. Let's take that. We're not going to be able to do anything with that yet I'll explain why. Buildings opened up. We definitely need those though. Cannot survive without it any further. We're gonna start getting sick. Waste is already up high. And then we need that. And I don't have enough planks. Let's get a basket shop when we can, and a cobbler shop, and a Fletcher building. Oh, I got to watch that guy shoot an arrow at that thing. That was neat. Don't know who shot it. That's a forager shack. That's a fishing shack. Oh, there you go. You had like one spot to fish. Yeah, our society is crumbling. It's not. It's straining under the weight. More people wish to join, but we want a school. Can't really get a school when I beat it out of you. We need a wagon shop eventually, but we're not gonna worry about that yet. We gotta get these other things filled. Two more. Looks like they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Two more. God, a 2 becomes 8. Look at all the ones in there. Maybe it's those two. Maybe these aren't ready yet. It's not completely accurate, obviously, but you know, it's cute. Let's build that. That's what we'll put it right there. Oh yeah. I want that path to go right to that cool flagpole. I think our money went somewhere? Where'd it go? Built something with our cash. I don't remember what. I didn't see us spend it on anything. Oh! Nah. bears are attacking. Bear. Shoot.
On it.
It's gonna tear me apart.
All right.
This is so bad, bears, man, bears. They can kill a whole village.
Will do. Will do. Done. Okay then. Done.
It's running away! I've never seen bears run away before. That is new. I've never seen bears run away before. Wow. We can't have both of these go up at the same time. Delay that a bit. Nope. And shares. Taxation. Our houses will start upgrading when we get, that one's already ready. It just needs 2 types of food. So they're tired of eating vegetables all day. They want meat and veggies, or something like that. So as we get them more variety of things, they will start to upgrade their houses. Yay! Fishing.
Yes.
Alia. I wonder how our kids are doing.
Aye.
That's laborers. Let's see. Huh. Is it just showing us the parents? Did that one already upgrade? It did. It's already at a homestead. That one's already a home. What's a shelter? Shelter. Ooh, they're starting to go! Yeah, yeah, yeah! Now we can finish this. Let's give it a minute. Oh, no, let's not give it a minute. We need to beat out all these houses being built. Because it'll never get done if all these houses get finished first. 16 months of food. That is just crazy. Not building there. Nope. Let's move it there. Let's face it the other direction toward the street. Got a few minutes left. Oh, there's the 2 right there. Oh, 1. 1. Oh, punk. There we go. There's the.
Hello there.
There's the 1. Carrying a wood plank. Alright, now just 13 labor. Feel sorry for the person that has to work here.
What is it?
Alta. Thank you, Alta, for sacrificing your sanity for everybody else. Night Soil Collector. We will keep people safe from diseases. Oh, look at our person is praying.
Hello there.
Priest preaching. Thoman. There was an update where they did, and it was corrected like after about 3 days. But your preacher would preach, and they would starve to death and die because they wouldn't stop preaching. They would just stand there in the snow, in the rain, in anything. They would die of exposure and starvation because they wouldn't stop preaching. They would just stand there in the rain and everything. I mean, this guy's in the rain. They would stand there with nothing. No food, no nothing. They would preach forever until they died. They fixed that one pretty early. Oh, man. Oh, weed level's 90. It's gone up! I'm gonna assign more workers to it. Let's do that. And there be sun. Oh, one of our houses has been upgraded. So they've got a little shelter back there with some tools. It's a kid. It's Allie doing laundry. Doing laundry. Got a bucket. So they've got wood slats now for a house instead of just a bunch of piles of wood and some grass on the roof to keep the rain out. Now it's a proper thatched roof. They've got a chimney made of wood. Yeah, you could probably do that as long as the bottom was brickwork, maybe. I have no idea how they did that. Probably have like a stone hearth. There's some rocks piled up. You can see inside the houses. But they've got a real chimney now instead of a hole cut in the top of the house. Let them go. Maybe wood, but it'll do. We've got an income of 3 gold. 2 homesteads, 2 gold each. The marketplace is now 9. Didn't used to do that. It was always 5 before. Never. Oh, that's because we got the improved taxes. Right. We got the improved taxes. Oh, we've got this. May as well. Children are important to our future. Midwives are important. Right? I like how this nondescript shrine. It's just like a pyramidal structure with like dealy boppers on it. Well, I think this is as good as any to stop. We're gonna finish that homestead any moment now. Let's watch that one being built. You guys probably taking that last plank. Where they get the wheelbarrows, I do not know. baby a new house. Three, two, one. Dink. So then additional shelters. Prevent death from exposure. Alright, that's good enough. We're good. I'm gonna pause it there. We're gonna save it here. We are on Mudsford 2. Alright, I think that's as decent a place as any. We've got several things that we can do from here. We're gonna need, however, storage. We're gonna need that in order to move on to other higher resource management, like all of our work camps and stuff like that require the wagon shop. The work camp is what we're almost certainly going to build next after the wagon shop. But we'll get to that. I don't think we have the iron for that. 25 iron. How much iron do we have? We can buy iron from the traders. 5. But that'll be a ways. We'll put amenities and services. We'll put this here, the trading post, right there. Got a lot more planks that we need before that. Anyway, so those are some of our plans. We'll get to that next time. And I hope you had a relaxing and enjoyable time watching. It is a relaxing and enjoyable game. There's going to be sudden terror as we get attacked by raiders, but it's overall relaxing, nice, pleasant, and then sudden terror. We'll get used to it. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.